Hi and a very good day to everyone. My name is Muhammad Takivdin bin Muhammad Fauzi, and today I'm going to talk about cyclodextrin, which is a synthetic carbohydrate that I've chosen for my assignment. In this video, I'm going to go through some introductions about cyclodextrin, some the structures involved, the common ones, the properties, the synthesis, and also some applications that are commonly used today. Some introductions for cyclodextrin. Cyclodextrin is a cyclic oligosaccharide. It is mainly composed of glucose units linked by an alpha 1 to 4 glycosidic bonds. The shape that commonly takes place for cyclodextrin is a torus-like or donut shape. It is discovered in 1891. Firstly, it was obtained from a starch digest of Bacillus amylobacter and first initially called cellulosine by Villiers, which is the first guy that uh, got to isolate this cyclodextrin, and then it was later resynthesized again in 1911 by Schrödinger, and then called his first batch crystallized dextrin alpha and also crystallized dextrin beta. Later on in 1935, gamma dextrin was isolated, and then in 1948, the X-ray structures were obtained and were recognized that cyclodextrin were able to form inclusion complexes. Now we're going to talk about the structures of cyclodextrin. We're going to talk about the three most common structures for cyclodextrin, which is alpha cyclodextrin, beta, and also gamma. Alpha cyclodextrin is composed of six glucose units, as we can see in the picture. Six glucose units chain together using the glycosidic bond. It usually has a inner radius of inner, di- inner diameter of 0.57 nanometers, and for beta, is composed of seven glucose units. From the picture below, it has a 0.78 nanometers in of inner diameter, and also for gamma cyclodextrin, is composed of eight glucose units, and for its inner diameter, it is 0.95 nanometers. Uh, Cyclodextrin usually has a height of 0.78 nanometers, according to this. As we can see from the picture below, the picture shows that the cyclodextrin is torus-like, or we call the donut shape. So it has a thinner base down, where we call the primary side, and then the wider base upside is called the secondary side. For the inner cavity, it has a hydrophobic element, while the outer one it has a hydrophilic element. Next, we're going to talk about the synthesis of cyclodextrin. Cyclodextrin is usually synthesized enzymatically from starch using this enzyme called cyclodextrin glycosyltransferase, or for short, CGTase. CGTase acts as a catalyst for the cyclization of cyclodextrins. For the optimal conditions to use CGTase, usually the temperature is needed to be around 40 to 60 degrees Celsius, for the pH to be around 5 to 8, and also it is best to use a starch derived oligosaccharides. From the picture, you can see that these are the glucose bonds forming together, chaining. And if we imagine that each one of these glucose unit is this uh, circle in the picture at below, we can see that it will form later a cyclic compound. Next, we're going to talk about the properties of cyclodextrin. As I said earlier, cyclodextrin has a hydrophobic interior and also a hydrophilic exterior. It is also non-toxic as it has a high LD50 orally, around 5,000 milligram per kilogram for beta, and also 10,000 milligram per kilogram for alpha cyclodextrin. It also can easily be broken down into glucose, and is also stable in wide range of pH and temperature. The two unique properties of cyclodextrin is that it can serve as a host in the formation of inclusion complexes with lipophilic compounds, and it can be used as active building blocks in the construction of functional materials. Since we've discussed about the properties of cyclodextrin, we can see its application used thoroughly throughout in our daily lives. For example, in food industry, it can be used as a stabilizer that can prolong the shelf life of products by preventing crystallization of sweeteners. For environment, it can help in encapsulating hydrophobic waste matters in the wastewater. For in cosmetics, it can also stabilize by prolonging the shelf life of vitamins. In the pharmaceutical perspective, it can improve the solubility of poly water soluble drugs. It can also decrease the volatility of drugs. It can modulate drug transport properties through lipophilic barriers, and can also serve as a useful vehicle for specific drug deliveries, like delivery to the colon. In conclusion, cyclodextrin is a very versatile synthetic carbohydrate. It is also relatively harmless as it is listed in the generally recognized as safe list by the US Food and Drugs Administration in 1998. It is also quite abundant around us as it is derived from any starch, and you just need to react it with CGTase enzyme to produce this synthetic carbohydrate. And with that, ends my video presentation. Thank you so much for listening. These are the references that were used uh, to produce this video presentation. And with that, thank you so much for listening. Thank you.